So you'll just have to close that little window. Welcome. There we go. All right. Good. So we'll come to lie down. I've put this little blanket at the very top end of my mat. I'm just going to make sure you can see me nice and clearly. So a little folded blanket. I've sort of stretched it out because when we come to extend the arms, it's really nice for the hands just to rest there. So we'll start just in this constructive rest position. So knees bent, fingers pointing down towards the heels. Just pad through the feet a couple of times, just landing through the soles of the feet. Nice deep breaths. And as much as possible, you know, I'll give as many instructions so that you can really sort of let go of the screen in lots of ways. Just connect with the listening, and, you know, the instructions are guides. Just trust your own intuition. Pad through the soles of the feet, and then walk the feet just a half a foot distance away. Just start to open up the space around the backs of the knees. Deep breath into the chest. You can sort of bend the elbows and extend up through the arms. Just start to feel a little openness across the chest. And slowly come into this sort of present moment as much as we can. You know, it's a slow process. We just start with the body. We start to bring our awareness perhaps to the feeling, the sensation through the toes, through the soles of the feet. Let's drop the heels now and just focus on lifting the balls of the feet, stretching through the toes. Nice deep breaths. Start to soften around the belly. The arms start to tire. Bend into the elbows a little bit. Nice deep breaths. And then let the feet settle. Press into the soles of the feet. Tuck the tailbone down towards the heels and then come down nice and slowly. Deep, deep breaths. As you land, just walking those elbows a little further down towards the hips, shoulders release, and then let the arms gently rest to the side. So if you've got props or furniture around you, just gently push that aside if you're able to, or change the position slightly on your mat. Just move so that the arms can release. Ideally so that the arms are completely free, collarbones are wide, and the arms can rest in their sockets. So we do this little rotation of the palms facing up towards the sky. Feel that softness across the chest, the collarbones, as you breathe deep into the upper chest. Nice deep breath. So I often say it's one of the benefits of a mute button. You can be as, you know, dramatic as you like. Really allow that surrender on the breath, particularly the out breath. And just gently closing the eyes, just come into this moment. So whatever day, whatever hour leading up to this, just surrender it all. You could think of this as just simply putting it down. And then, of course, you have the choice at the end to pick it up or just leave it. Start to soften around the jaw, the lower jaw, and let the tongue rest away from the roof of the mouth. Now, the fingers may naturally start to curl in towards their own palms. This is natural. Just allow any motion like that just naturally arises. This is sort of spontaneity, creativity arising, a softening. So if there is any sensations that, you know, perhaps feel a little tight or uncomfortable, as they come through your consciousness, as you become more aware, perhaps it's tightness in the lower back, perhaps it's the weight of the head against the blanket. Just bring your attention there and breathe. Breathe a sense of softness, of expansion. And part of our practice this evening is to restore some balance, just to start with where we are. And that comes back to the breath. We're going to breathe the hands onto the body now. Bring the hands to the upper chest. So the fingers can just point in towards the heart space. Let the elbows be wide. So you may want to lift and replace each elbow a couple of times, almost like little wings. Now take a deep breath in. We're going to gently just lift the head, replant the head, bringing the chin a little closer to the chest. And exhale and soften. Nice deep breath into the upper chest. So really start to feel that expansion through the tops of the lungs, through the sides of the ribs. And with every exhalation, a little softer. Deep breaths. And this connection with the breath is what moves us from the more physical level, the grossest level, to the more subtle. Just connecting with that inhale as it comes into the body, and the exhale as it leaves the body. Well done. Without too much agitation, we're going to gently turn the head to the right, just as far as is comfortable. Keeping the back of the head down against the floor. Nice deep breath. Welcome. Breathing deep. And just settle. Just notice what you notice. So with the head over to the right, check that the left side of the body hasn't adjusted. Yeah, hasn't sort of made some adjustment for that little turn. Keep the back of the pelvis to the floor. In other words, don't overturn the head if it's going to cause agitation to the opposite side of the body. Nice deep breath. Head to center. And then when you're ready, a nice breath in and exhale. Head over to the other side. And just allow the body to really respond to this little movement. Breathing all the way in and all the way out. Nice deep breaths. Bringing the head all the way back to center. Nice inhale, exhale. Start to feel that softness across the back ribs. Big exhalation. We're going to peel up the legs. Just bring these towards your chest, one at a time, nice and slowly, pointing the toes. Bring the hands from the chest and gently hug the knees in towards you. A gentle rocking forward and back. So at this point, just check your blanket is in a good place. Yeah, it's not digging in. I've got mine a little bit low. You can have yours double folded over, just as long as it's comfortable. Yeah, it's not causing any agitation. And gently rocking forward and back, just softening around the lower back. And we start to bring an awareness to the tummy muscles. Yeah, the lower parts of the belly. We're going to focus our breath there in just a moment. If not already, you know, maybe that you're already breathing fully into the belly and it feels free with every breath, which is wonderful. You know, that's something to just notice where the breath is landing in the body. And just bring that to a slow stop. Let the legs land, hands on the thighs, arms extended, chin to chest. Just extend the arms so that they're almost reaching for the knees, you know, really long through the whole of the outer edges of the arms. Nice deep breaths. And then gently exhale, bring the hands onto the belly. Just step the feet a good distance apart. So they're roughly about just over hip width. Hands resting on the belly, elbows wide. Just softly release any tension there, particularly around the diaphragm. Okay, so feeling around the lower ribs. Deep breaths. I'm going to gently let the knees just rest over to the right side. Okay, so just let the knees just flop over. Now you can keep the hands on the belly here. It's just feeling into what's happening, a nice stretch across the digestive system. And of course, this is the stomach on the top side. So just allow the Awareness to be with the stretch that's happening. Deep breaths. So when the legs are to the right, you've got stomach on top, as it were, towards the top side of the body. And when the legs are to the other side, you have the liver. So just connecting with what's happening. Spacious awareness. Deep breath. Now don't worry if the legs are sliding a little bit, they're not staying in position. Let the legs move. Don't fix a shape for the sake of fixing a shape. Nice deep breath in. Really feel that belly rise up with the inhale and then come all the way back to center. Just jostle for a little bit of space here. And what I mean by that is lifting each hip, rolling across the soles of the feet, lengthening through the lower back in particular, resetting across the back of the pelvis, hands back on the belly. Nice deep breath in. Chin to chest, and then when you're ready, let the knees on an exhale just drop to that left side. Again, just having the hands on the body. This is just drawing our attention in to feeling, to connecting. That sense of touch only arises in the present moment. So this is another portal, if you like, to become present, to feel into that wonderful, rich tapestry of our experience, away from memory and imagination and all the other things we spend a lot of mental energy ruminating. Bring the knees back to center. Well, that's putting it politely. If it's in my head, I spend a lot of time there. Well done. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees just flop out. So we create this sort of diamond shape. Okay, you can keep the hands on the belly here. I'm going to give you the invitation of also bringing the arms up towards the sky and then bending the elbows to bring the arms gently up and over the head. Now, depending how tight those shoulders are, you may want to bring the arms a little wider. Letting the arms gently rest on the blanket. Again, if you're super, super tight in those shoulders, it may feel more restful to have the arms around shoulder level, or keep the hands just simply resting on the belly. Just feel it out for yourself. I really encourage that sort of intuition, listening and responding to the body. Deep breaths all the way into the belly. And as you soften, see if you can feel that connection through the diaphragm, through the lower ribs, through the back muscles. Beautiful, nice deep breaths. Well, I know that for some, this can feel quite strong on the inner thighs as well, not just opening up across the chest. There's also a release through the adductors, through the inner groins. So again, if you find any of these challenging, the alternative is you release. You can always extend the legs. You can come back to resting soles of the feet to the floor. You can release the arms a little wider. Well done. Nice deep breaths. Just checking in with the toes, relaxing across the soles of the feet and the outer ankles. Well done. Let's peel up the legs nice and slowly. Keep the arms where they are. And this time we're going to jostle into those shoulder blades. Okay, so we're moving the legs to lift each arm, just finding a little bit of space as we open into the back ribs, into the shoulder blades. So we're just gently rocking. You could think of this as across the spine, into the shoulders, keeping everything soft. Including the back of the head, the sides of the neck, and then resting in the center. Landing the feet, nice deep inhalation, exhalation. Well done. Extend the arms. Let's extend the legs one at a time, nice and slowly. Point the toes is where you discover if you're reaching a wall or not. Hopefully nothing that's movable. So just check your surroundings, that you're safe. Draw the belly skin in and up. So you really feel that wonderful stretch. Pointing the toes, pointing the fingers. Deep breath in. And release. Start at the feet. Let the feet flop out. And let that softness ripple right the way through the body, up into the armpits, elbows soft, armpits release, deep breaths. So no holding whatsoever, just surrender all of that movement. Just the breath. Well done. Let's peel up each leg nice and slowly. Just feel what happens with the lower back as you peel up the legs. Yeah, there's a natural curvature there. You're going to bring the arms up and over. Walk the heels this time really close in towards the buttocks. Take the palms, press them to the floor, and the same with the feet as we lift up through the pelvis. Little squeeze through the glutes. We're going to start to feel that activation and that stability through the pelvis, through the tummy muscles to support what's happening in the lower back. Deep breath in. Keep that chin tucked in towards the chest, and then exhale, roll down through the spine, and then relax. Let everything soften. Just see if there's a little bit more space around the lower back and the sacrum. If you can, again, jostle for a little bit of space. Keep everything nice and spacious with the bones of the sacrum, just loosening off. You know, this is our base area. We want to feel as connected as possible so that we can really feel rooted, secure, stable, you know, in the body, but also on the earth. Okay, so we'll do one more. Press into the feet, lift the pelvis, chin to chest. There's subtle movements. Think of it like riding a wave. We don't need to move any other part of the body. So keep nice and central through the spine. Eyes gaze down towards the chest. Press into the feet. Deep breath in. Exhale, lower nice and slowly. Slow and steady. Nice big exhalation. Well done. Peel up the legs. Come back to that little hug. This time, a little hug of the knees. We're going to go side to side. If you're really luxurious, you can have another blanket under the under your back here, but hopefully no one's on anything too hard. Nice deep breath. Hopefully, again, you'll feel that softness just releasing. Invite in any sort of awareness around the sides of the hips. Yeah, if you're noticing, then you're able to do something about it. You may want to hover, you may want to return to that spot, you may want to sort of rotate a little bit. And just to hold that pose, you know, that's the invitation with our practices. It's wide open for interpretation. It's an invitation. Settle in the center, keep the feet raised, flex the feet. Let's take the arms out wide this time, palms up, and slowly start to extend each leg. Okay, so it's the first real stretch of the hamstring. So keep a little bend in the back of that knee. Okay, so either whichever leg comes up first, just allow that to happen. Nice deep breaths. If you use your breath, the whole thing flows a lot smoother. You can flex the toes and flex the heels, point the toes, I should say. Notice again what happens. We're just alternating each leg slowly. You know, the muscles, the tissue, everything starts to come into agreement. Oh, you know, this is what we're doing. Legs are raised, muscles are releasing. They're on a different plane. You know, suddenly the legs aren't holding the whole body. We're allowing the earth to carry us, to hold us. So just feel where you are in your body. Notice if there's any movement in mind and whether it's useful to this moment or it's habitual perhaps, or just something that you haven't quite managed to drop yet. And you know, it's your practice. See what's most useful to you and resolve to come back to the breath. Well done. So over time, you may notice with your own legs that these are starting to, you know, release, which is wonderful. Each leg one at a time, nice and deep. Really aware, super aware of your lower back, okay? Really allowing that to be completely comforted and supported. Little tone in the belly as you extend. This helps enormously. Well done. Now we're going to simply, with both legs extended up towards the sky, let's bring the left leg over the right leg and then bring the heels all the way down. Feet land and then let the knees just flop out. So you're resting on your outer ankles. This is Supta Sukhasana. So it's a cross-leg position with the legs. Hands can gently rest there on the belly or the upper chest. Equally, you may want to bring them, up and over the head. So obviously, one that will feel more restful than the other. So up above the head will feel sort of more intense, if that's sort of something that you're feeling into at the moment, where you want to feel a little bit more expansive across the chest and bring the arms up and over. But, if something more restful, more peaceful, just having the hands on the chest, fingers towards the heart space, this will feel more comforting, more peaceful. Just trusting to listen in, to tune into what we need. First step with our own practice, a practice that we are committed to because it suits us. Just soften around the neck joint. This is often the last area to really release, again, any movements there that just facilitate that softening. And then when you're ready, simply take the leg on the inside, okay, onto the outside. So that right leg comes forward and just replace the feet so that the hips and pelvis can softly release. You may want to explore a different position with the hands. Whichever one you're going for, just breathe as deeply as you can and then softly surrender. Well done. When you're ready, slide the arms wide along the floor. Think sort of snow angel. So those shoulder blades get a chance to really release in their full range. Take your hands around your thighs just to help lift them up. Again, we can peel those knees in towards the chest. This time we'll bring the chin to the chest. Look towards the knees. Just have a little hug in. Flex the toes. And then release. So we get that wonderful release all the way through the spine. Plant the soles of the feet. Rest the hands on the thighs. Deep breaths. Well done. When you're ready, we're going to roll over onto our sides. Good job. So your blanket, you can pull a little further down towards the center of your mat. I try to use props that everybody will have at home. This is just a family camping blanket, as well as pillows and things like that. And we're going to come to lay just across the pelvis and the hips and the thighs. Okay, so nice deep breaths, just resting on the belly, but we're staying up on the elbows, forearms, and wrists. Nice deep breaths. So we're really sort of rooting in with those elbows. Now you can walk them a little further forward than the shoulders, just to touch, see how that feels. And feel into the belly here. This is a wonderful way of really tuning into that lower aspect of our being, as it were, lower down in the base. Breathe in between the shoulder blades. So the tops of the feet are just resting. Nice deep breaths. And then allowing everything else just to fall away. So it may be that we need a couple of breaths just to settle. That's absolutely fine. You take your time. And if this feels too much, certainly through the shoulders or the forearms, just come down to rest on the belly. Okay, nice deep breaths. So we're going to bring our awareness to the front of the body now and just, again, really ground down through the parts of the body that are in contact with the earth. So for us right now, this may be tops of the feet, maybe the knees, thighs, pelvis. Draw up through the pelvic floor, little tone in the belly, look forward, deep breath in, and then exhale. We're going to take the elbows wide, come all the way down, okay? Palms to the earth. This is a lovely way to rest, and rest on the temple, just bringing the side of the head all the way down. A nice deep breath all the way through the spine, down to the lower back. And this stillness that we can connect with is always there, ever present. When you're ready, we're going to simply lift the head and just turn the head to the other side. You're going to lay on the other temple and just surrender the weight of the body. So even in that little movement, notice if there's a little change around the knees, a little tension that creeps in the shoulders. See if you can bring a softness to all of those areas. Taking a deep breath in. Let's peel up the head. Use the hands for support. Just draw your palms under your shoulders, palms to the floor. Just tuck under the toes, peel up nice and slowly, and just bring yourself into a long sort of stretch. Keep the toes tucked under because this is lovely to stretch through the plantar fascia of the soles of the feet. Unless there's any problem with the feet, in which just keep the toes released and resting on the tops of the feet. Release the head. The arms are extended. Leave enough space between the arms so the head can come all the way down. We're still in quite a dynamic stretch here, if that makes sense. You know, the arms are really reaching for the earth, palms are in contact. Breathe into the little finger side of each arm, all the way up through the arms, into those shoulder blades. Excellent, well done. Drop onto the elbows and then tuck under the toes. We're going to come into balasana. So just walking the arms a little closer towards the knees. I'm going to invite you here to either pick up a prop. You may have a bolster or a pillow, something that you want to sort of hug into, and that can feel really comforting. Equally, if you'd rather have some softness under the knees, you can just shift yourself forward, a little bit of padding under the knees. The wider the knees are apart, you'll have a little bit more space for the belly to soften, the ribs to release. So as an example, you may want to lower down through the bottom of the breastbone, lowering the ribs, coming all the way down, and then again, hugging in to your little lift. That equally could be a towel wrapped around a bed cushion or a pile of cushions, something like that. By wrapping a towel or a blanket around it, you'll get that same sort of shape. And then just rest. If when you land, it's not comfortable on the chest, oh, you want to come a little lower, you continuously sort of shift, readjust. You know, this is the time to listen and respond to the body. Maybe that you prefer to come all the way down. Yeah, with the head just resting again on the side. Nice deep breaths. Finding that softness, finding that release. Even if it's, quite strong in the hips and the pelvis or anywhere else, maybe around the groins, just almost visualize the hips and the pelvis releasing, buttocks softening down towards the heels. Jaw is soft, just releasing any idea about being anybody, upholding any personality, any sense of doing anything at all. Just surrender and just exist, just simply rest. Gently turn your head to the other side when you're ready. Again, if you integrate this with a nice breath in and then exhale when you land the head, all the better. Sort of facilitates that little release down in the belly. Well done. Let's take a deep breath in. Peel up the head nice and slowly. Let's plant the elbows, forearms, and wrists. Just look forward. Breathe between the shoulder blades and press into the hands, lifting all the way up with the chest. We're going to peel ourselves up. So we'll travel forward just up onto the knees, resting on the shins. You can pop your little lift out the way to one side. Feel really supported here, okay? So hip width apart on the shins. Lift up and lengthen. We're going to breathe the arms forward and all the way up. Exhale wide. Nice deep breath. I'm just going to shift to face you. Stay as you are. Arms are forward, up. Really integrate that breath as you move, okay? Deep breath in. Exhale. Chin to chest. Breathe in. Arms up to the sky. Exhale, release. Well done. Let's plant the hands. You can have them on the blanket or flat. Just see how that feels. You can always peel your little blanket back. Hands and knees. Have a little wiggle of the tailbone. Deep breaths. Feel into those fingertips. Start to bend into the elbows. We're going to bring a little movement through the whole of the spine. So we've felt down into the pelvic floor. We're going to sort of almost tease out any last areas by bringing the elbow down to the floor. Yeah, as we look back towards the foot. So if the right elbow is down, we look back to the right foot. Keeping your awareness around your pelvic floor. Okay, so up through the base. Nice big breaths. You can huff and puff, I like to say, as much as you like. And go at your own pace. It may not be this pace. This may be too fast or too slow. Keep pressing into the palms. Really enjoy each movement. Don't skip over any of the movements. Notice what's happening around the neck, around the lower belly. We really free up the energy through the spine at the level of the base, yeah, to move up through the spine, through the very crown of the head. So we're going to settle in the center now. Lengthen all the way through the spine. Just pause there. So feel that connection deep down in the belly. Look forward with the eyes. We're going to really stretch the eyeballs here, okay? So the eyes often get quite tired. That's That's natural, but we can stretch the facial muscles to free them up. Let the lower jaw drop. Create a kind of ah sound with the mouth. Draw the belly in. Exhale. Let's bring the chin to the chest. As you exhale all of that air, so we're almost squeezing the air out. Let the head hang nice and loose. Just hold it there. Head is loose, dropping down towards the earth. Breathe in slowly through the nose. And release. Let all of that breath go. We're going to move through a little cat-cow. Head lifts up. Eyes look up. Let the belly drop here, so a little arch through the back. Just feel what that's like. Yeah, it doesn't need to be over exaggerated. Just feel what happens in your body as you release. Deep breath in and release. Chin to chest. Curl all the way through the spine. You stretch into those shoulders here. As you draw the belly button into the spine, tuck the pelvis under. Pick up those fibers around the lower belly and the pelvic floor. And this feels like we are connecting, yeah, deep down. And release. Well done. Let's come back to a neutral spine and just pause for a moment. We're going to drop the buttocks a little closer to the heels and just walk your left hand ahead of your right hand so they line up, okay? So the hands are in line with each other. Deep breath all the way through the side ribs of that left side of the body. You're gently resting on the right elbow. Quite, intense around the groin. So if you're feeling it there, that's a good stretch. You'll be flooded with energy and nutrients, prana, when we finally release. Well done. Let's swap the hands. We're going to bring that left hand all the way back, come all the way up. Just stretch through the arms. Nice deep breath again. Nice breath into the belly. And then exhale, come all the way down, dropping that left elbow down and bringing the right arm all the way up, full extension. I just find it easier sort of think of lining up those middle fingers and then just soften. And this is such a lovely stretch to get into those tighter areas of the side ribs. Yeah, this is your serratus anterior muscle, your boxer's muscle, around your ribs, coming all the way around to your chest. And release nice and slowly. Well done. So you can come to sit back on the heels if that's comfortable for you, or you can come up to rest on the knees. There's always an option. Just taking some nice deep breaths. So whichever version you're in, I'm going to come up for this one and just demo on the shins. We're going to extend the fingers, interlace, palms come forward. Deep breath in. Bring the arms up. Well done. Release the fingers wide. Excellent. Good job. Let's bring that left arm across the body and just bring a nice stretch there. So if you're still on your heels, you're welcome to come up equally. You can stay as you are. Just feel that nice stretch. And release. Well done. This time, bring that right arm across. So they're soft, we're not forcing. Keep the chest forward. Don't be tempted to move with the arm, just allow the body to respond. Well done. And exhale, release. Excellent. So if you can come back to sit on the heels for a moment, take a prop if that's comfortable. You can take that support under the heels, or you can take it between the legs, okay? So you build up however high you need it to be. I'm just going to demo this because we'll use this again in a moment anyway when we come to sit in meditation. There's a few options. This is a little bit easier on the knees. The higher the seat, the more support for the lumbar spine. So we're going to come into a little seated twist. Take any support you need, okay? It may be that you want to sit up on a bolster. Feel it out for yourself. Now, when you come up into this position, you'll think, it's not for me, then make an adjustment. Good job. Nice deep breath. Hands just resting on the thighs. Nice deep breath so you can feel as you start to soften these collarbones. We're going to lift up the hands on an inhale and then gently turning to the right. Just let the hands land wherever. So my back hand is on my foot, my front hand is on my thigh. But see how it feels on your body. It's not a prescribed place. It doesn't need to be anywhere in particular. You may want to bring that hand to a block behind you if you've got an extra prop nearby. But just to feel that little shift, that little turn in the belly. Deep breaths here. And the head, once you've settled, you may want to bring that head to a little twist to one side. And just feel that openness. Feel into the shoulder blades. Is the belly soft? Jaw soft? Really connect down again through the center. This is your sushumna, your energetic channel through the spine. Release slowly. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Well done. Just settle, just trusting that little movement, tiny movements. Deep breath in. Hands lift up, exhale, and turn. So I'm going to demo with a little block. If you've got one, you may want your hand to rest there. Deep breaths. See how it feels in your body just to rest with that little twist. So one thing to be aware of is we're not breathing and lifting up, we're not overturning, lifting up the base. Keep everything really rooted, that back thigh, the buttock, the sitting bones, re-establishing that balance through the pelvis. And release slowly. Well done. We're going to extend our legs. So come off your little lift, whichever one you went for. You may want to remember if it was a comfortable one. I'm going to take the legs a little wider here. And again, if you find this really difficult collapsing into the lower back, you may want to be propped up on a little block or a little cushion just behind you. And it can help to have the corner in rather than a flat edge. So again, I'll just demo that. So the thighs have got something to release from. Good job. Flex the feet, lift up nice and tall. And then bring the hands just behind the thighs. Again, whichever position is comfortable for you. If you are raised up, you may find that you're on your fingertips, and that's okay. Deep breaths. Chest lifts. Again, if there's tightness in the lower legs, feel free to pop a little bend there. Point the toes and release. And if it's super, super tight, just go with your breath. Don't force anything. Chest open and relax. Just let the body respond. Let the thighs release. And slowly bring the chin to the chest, but maintain that lovely length up through the spine. Well done. Gently bring both the hands around that left thigh. Okay, so just pausing there, looking towards that left leg, just resting. Breathing deep into that top of that thigh. Belly is soft. Eyes soft. We're not traveling too far. Just allow the body, the tip of the pelvis, to be as far as is comfortable for you. We're going to maintain that little lean forward, if there is a little lean forward. Walk the hands through the center. Stay nice and low again to the floor, to the earth. Keep dropping everything down nice and low, and then bring the hands over that right thigh. So when we flex the toes, we'll feel a little bit more rooted through the back of that leg. Deep breaths, nice and calm. And release slowly back to center with the fingers. Peel up the legs nice and slowly. We're going to bring them all the way together. You can stay on your little lift if it's comfortable. Just bring the soles of the feet together. Interlace your fingers. Just rest here. Deep breath as the thighs release. Deep breath in. And breathing into the back ribs, just softening into those shoulders. Slowly release. We're going to prepare ourselves for our meditation now. So give the legs a little stretch out. Feel free to add an extra layer if the temperatures drop for you where you are. And then have some tea if you bought some tea. I'm so used to drinking mine cold, but I assume everyone else is. And then we're going to take ourselves into a comfortable seated position. So I'm again going to show you a couple of options. You can have kneeling, of course, sitting just as we were. Dim the lights, have everything around you that you need, okay? So it may well be a shawl or eye pillow for our Savasana when we come to rest. Deep inhalation and exhalation, just settle. Just allow the pelvis to settle. The key for any meditation posture is balance. Yeah, this stability all the way up through the pelvis so that we can surrender the body and just slowly then the mind will start to settle too. Takes time. Practice. And just allow the body to come to stillness. Feel free, this is the time. If it's not comfortable now, this is the time to shift it. So just be aware of those little feelings of agitation. Of course, if they are arising, now's the time to really make those little corrections so that you can feel as comfortable and supported up through the spine as possible. So any adjustments that you make now are worth, so many more peaceful minutes in your meditation. Whether you're new to meditation or you've been practicing for a long time, the foundation is still as important. The foundation being stillness, steadiness, and balance. So when you're ready, we'll chant tonight the beautiful seed bija mantra for Ganesha. This is a remover of obstacles, if you like. This is a beautiful intention for our practice, perhaps for the next part of this year, for anything that feels that it's in our way. And it's quite a simple mantra to follow. So I can lead it and you can hear and join with the listening, or you can sound it. So there are 4 parts. It's very simple. Don't worry if you don't want to chant or you don't know it or any of those ideas. Just listen. And if you feel drawn to joining in, then do so. Joining with the bits you do know, which may be Om at the beginning and NAMAHA at the end. So it's just as powerful to join with the listening. And we'll do a few rounds and then we'll drop into our meditation before coming to Savasana. So steady and upright. You're welcome to bring the hands to a mudra such as Anjali at the heart, or let the hands just rest. Staying centered, staying balanced and upright. Take a deep breath in. Om GANAPATAYE NAMAHA. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Last time. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And that's a simple bow to Ganesha, the deity of remover of obstacles. So you may want to take that sound into your meditation, or if you have a mantra of your own, allow that to gently repeat in the mind. Otherwise, just come back to the breath. Start with that inhale and the exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. Natural rhythm, maintaining that balance through the spine. And I'll mind the time. Eyes soft, jaw soft. Let all tension go. We'll do an extra deep breath. And gently bring the hands together, rubbing the palms together. I'm going to create a little bit of warmth in those palms and gently place them over the eyes. So remove any glasses if you're wearing them. And just cupping over the eyes. Deep breath through the nose. Exhale. Let the shoulders release and soften as you breathe in through the nose. And release. And let the hands gently release. Eyes gently open. We're going to move ourselves down to Savasana without too much agitation. So come to lie down as flat as you can, taking a little bit of support under the back of the head. You're welcome to take support under the backs of the knees. Or have a blanket over you, whatever you need. Eye pillow, you dim the lights, whatever you need to do. And then come to rest, more or less as we started, with a little bit of support under the back of the head. Coming down nice and slowly, with as much care as any other posture. Pelvis comes down towards the heels, lower yourself. Find that balance again through the back of the pelvis. Base of the skull. Check that there's a nice little gap around the neck, the curvature of the neck, curvature of the lower spine, and then release the legs. Really enjoy that sensation of extending and releasing through the body. Palms up to the sky if that feels good for your body. Nice big inhalation, exhalation, and then come to rest in Shavasana. So this is our corpse pose. Really embody that sense of stillness, utter rest in your body, in your skin. Bones rest, muscles release. And let all tension go. Resting in that deep peace of yourself. Resting in the heart space. Resting with the breath. Taking an extra deep breath in. As you exhale, slowly bending up your knees. Let the lower back settle. And just allow those deep breaths to roll through the body, through the belly, across the ribs. When you feel ready, just gently rolling over onto your side, whichever side suits your body. And just lie comfortably on your side. And taking those deep breaths into the body, just allowing a little light and colour into the eyes, some movement through the fingers and toes. And slowly, when you feel ready, peel yourself up from the side. Come back to a comfortable seated position. Could be legs extended, whatever works for you. Hug the knees so that you can come back to that feeling of balance across the pelvis. Bringing the hands to the heart space. Deep breath in. Exhale. I really surrender that breath. Feel the connection to the earth. Breathe in and release. Softening the shoulders as you breathe out. Deep breath in. Last time. And release. Thank you for practicing this evening. Namaste. I hope you sleep well.